Have you ever found yourself wondering what it truly means to live fully in these later years? After all the accomplishments, the challenges, the ups and downs that life has brought you, now, as the pace slows, there's an opportunity to ask, what really brings me joy? What sustains me? What do I want this chapter to look like? These questions aren't always easy, yet they're some of the most meaningful we can ask. In this stage of life, where we're no longer driven by the demands and expectations of others, there's a powerful chance to reshape our days around what truly matters, what deeply fulfills us. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of calm purpose, feeling connected to a life rich with moments of contentment, gratitude, and peace. This video isn't about quick fixes or conventional advice you've likely heard before. Instead, it's a guide to rediscovering what brings joy and depth to life after 70, a time when you have the freedom to explore new ways of living and being. Let me ask you this. Have you ever thought about how small changes, simple shifts in perspective, can bring about some of the most profound transformations? You've likely spent decades caring for others, fulfilling responsibilities, working hard, and maybe even putting your own desires on hold. But now, these years are a gift, a time that belongs entirely to you. This is a time to reconnect with who you are, to let go of the noise, and to embrace practices that open doors to inner peace, purpose, and joy. And that's what we're here to do today. Together, we'll explore 5 transformative practices that go beyond the usual advice. Practices that are gentle yet powerful enough to bring real change. These aren't just tips. They're small shifts that can lead to a new way of seeing and experiencing the world around you. By the end of this journey, I promise you'll come away with fresh inspiration and simple, practical steps that can make every day feel meaningful and fulfilling. Imagine feeling more grounded, more connected to what truly matters. Picture yourself rediscovering the richness of life, not through busyness, but through intentional, nourishing practices that bring out the best of who you are. This video is a companion for those ready to embrace the wisdom and beauty of these later years, ready to find happiness not in doing more, but in doing less, with greater purpose and deeper joy. So, if you're ready to take this journey with me, let's dive in and explore how to make every day of this chapter a gift full of grace, reflection, and lasting contentment. Section 1. Embracing stillness and silence as a daily practice. Imagine starting your day not with the usual rush of thoughts, plans, or worries, but instead with a deep, refreshing silence that wraps around you like a warm blanket. In this quiet, you're not obligated to solve anything, fix anything, or even achieve anything. You simply are. After decades of being defined by what you do, stillness invites you to reconnect with the essence of who you are beneath all the roles and responsibilities. It's a small, simple practice that, when done consistently, can transform how you feel throughout the day, adding a layer of calm and clarity that's hard to find elsewhere. You don't need to meditate if that's not your thing. Just find a comfortable spot, maybe by a window or a cozy chair, and allow yourself to sit in silence for 5 minutes each morning. The idea is to breathe deeply, relax, and let go of the need to be productive in that moment. And here's the beautiful thing. Over time, this daily dose of quiet becomes a gift, a chance to step out of the hustle and flow with a deeper, gentler rhythm that respects the wisdom of these years. I know it might feel strange at first. After all, we're used to feeling busy, moving from one task to the next. But when we embrace stillness, we give ourselves the chance to notice the small, beautiful things that often slip by in the noise of daily life. The way the sunlight filters through the trees in the morning, the faint scent of coffee brewing, or the soft chirping of birds outside your window. In those moments, you might find that memories start to float to the surface, little flashes of moments that remind you of the richness of life. Or perhaps your mind feels clearer, allowing new insights or ideas to emerge without the usual pressure to act on them right away. You might find, as so many others have, that this quiet time is like a reset button, leaving you feeling more present, more centered, and more connected to yourself. One woman who embraced this practice shared that over time she felt less reactive to the small frustrations of daily life and found herself able to respond with more patience and grace. That's the power of stillness. It doesn't change life's challenges, but it changes the way we meet them, bringing a sense of peace that grows with each passing day. If you're feeling hesitant, consider this. What do you have to lose by giving yourself a few minutes of peace each day? This practice requires nothing but time that you're fully entitled to. If you're someone who's spent years putting others first, here's an invitation to put yourself at the center, even if it's just for a few moments each morning. These minutes are yours. They're a way to nurture yourself, to honor the life you've lived, and to settle into the gentle rhythm that these years naturally invite. And if you're still wondering how much of a difference this can make, let me tell you, those who have embraced this practice often share that it's one of the most rewarding things they do for themselves. It's like planting a seed of calm and presence that grows into something beautiful over time, touching every part of your day and making life feel richer, more vivid, and more grounded. So, tomorrow morning, why not try it? Find a quiet corner, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let yourself simply be. You might just find that this small act of stillness becomes the most precious part of your day, a doorway into the peace and presence you've been seeking. Section 2. Crafting a legacy of stories and wisdom. Imagine this. One day, your grandchildren, or perhaps someone who admires you deeply, sits down to read or listen to the stories of your life, the laughter, the struggles, the lessons you've learned along the way. They sit transfixed, feeling as though they're walking beside you, hearing your voice, understanding your heart. Crafting a legacy of stories and wisdom isn't about writing a perfect memoir or leaving behind a polished autobiography. It's simply about sharing the parts of yourself that have shaped who you are, creating a bridge between your experiences and the lives of those who come after. There's a deep, timeless magic in storytelling, one that reaches beyond words on a page or a voice in a recording. It's about connection, about passing down the essence of who you are in a way that only you can. Have you ever thought about how much you've lived, how much you've seen and felt, and how those stories could offer insight, strength, or comfort to someone else? This is your chance to share that incredible wealth of life. And believe me, those who hear or read these stories will treasure them more than you can imagine. You don't have to be a writer or even feel that you're good at telling stories. All you need is a small, consistent effort and a willingness to reflect on your life's unique moments. Start with a single memory, maybe a day that changed you, a lesson you learned the hard way, or a story that always makes you laugh. Grab a notebook, or if writing feels daunting, record your voice on a phone or a simple recorder. Speak as though you're having a conversation with someone you love. If that first story feels right, add another one next week and another one after that. Each story, each memory, each little piece of wisdom is a gift that only you can give. Imagine the moments when you've heard a story that touched your heart, that made you feel understood or inspired. That's the power of this legacy, and it's waiting to be created one story at a time. One man shared how he began recording stories for his grandchildren, speaking about the values that had guided him, the decisions he had struggled with, and the moments that had defined his character. At first, he was unsure if anyone would really care, but as he continued, he found that the process of telling his story was as meaningful to him as it was to those who would one day listen. It gave him a renewed sense of purpose and even helped him reflect on his life with a newfound appreciation. He described how some memories, even the hard ones, seemed to soften as he revisited them, transforming into gentle reminders of how much he had grown. In sharing his stories, he not only created a legacy, but deepened his connection to himself and found peace in honoring his journey. Think about it. There's no other person on earth who can share your unique perspective, your memories, your truths. Each story you tell, each lesson you pass down, is an irreplaceable piece of history, a personal treasure that someone, someday, will cherish beyond words. So, why not begin today? You don't need to write a novel or produce a masterpiece. All you need is a willingness to start, one small story at a time. Share a memory of your favorite place as a child, the advice that changed your life, or the moment you felt truly proud of yourself. These small pieces of yourself will live on in ways you can't yet imagine, offering insight, comfort, and inspiration to those who may one day walk a path similar to yours. And if you feel hesitant or uncertain, remember this: there is no right or wrong way to do this. Every word, every memory is exactly as it should be. You are creating a gift of wisdom, a legacy of love, a portrait of a life well lived. And as you tell your story, you may just find that you begin to see your own journey through fresh eyes, discovering the richness of your life in ways you hadn't noticed before. So take that first step. Tell that first story. The legacy you create will be more valuable than you could ever imagine. A piece of yourself that lives on, echoing through generations, a reminder that you were here, that you lived, and that your life mattered. Section 3. Cultivating curiosity by learning a new art form or skill. Have you ever noticed how the smallest spark of curiosity can make you feel alive, even if just for a moment? That feeling of intrigue, the delight in discovering something unfamiliar, isn't reserved for youth. In fact, it's one of the most powerful ways to bring vibrancy and meaning into these later years. Now is the time to lean into that curiosity, with no rush, no deadlines, and no pressure to achieve anything other than the pure joy of learning. Imagine picking up a paintbrush for the first time, learning the chords of a song you've always loved, or mastering a few phrases in a language that has always fascinated you. When we give ourselves permission to explore something new, we open a door to endless possibilities, even if it's just a few minutes each day. This isn't about striving to be an expert. It's about tapping into a place of wonder and surprise, a place that allows us to grow and create without judgment or expectation. There's something profoundly enriching about learning simply for the sake of it, especially at this stage in life. After decades of responsibilities, routines, and perhaps even defining yourself by what you do, imagine what it would feel like to pick up a new skill or art form without needing it to be perfect or productive. Learning something new isn't just about the end result. It's about the joy found in the process, the small victories, the surprises, and even the mistakes that add color to our days. Take, for example, the story of a woman named Linda, who decided to try her hand at watercolor painting. She'd never considered herself an artist, yet each morning she would sit by her kitchen table with a small set of paints and experiment with colors. She described how those quiet moments brought her a sense of freedom, allowing her to express feelings she didn't even realize were within her. In those simple brushstrokes, she felt connected to a part of herself that had been dormant for years, a part that was playful, creative, and curious. Each painting, even the ones that didn't turn out quite as she imagined, became a celebration of her willingness to explore, to learn, and to enjoy herself without criticism or judgment. Learning something new also keeps our minds sharp, offering a way to keep our brains active and engaged. But beyond the cognitive benefits, it brings a sense of purpose, a daily reminder that there is still so much to explore and experience. Maybe you've always wanted to learn to play a musical instrument. Picture yourself strumming a guitar, hitting the keys of a piano, or simply playing a tune on a harmonica. You don't need formal lessons or to master complex compositions. You just need a little time each day to enjoy the experience. Or perhaps you've been fascinated by another culture or language. Imagine being able to say a few words or understand a new phrase in Italian, Japanese, or French. Even small steps like these make each day feel more vibrant and open up a world of connection, discovery, and possibility. When we learn something new, no matter how simple, we're reminded that we're still growing, still evolving, still capable of surprising ourselves. So, if there's something you've always wanted to try, why not start today? Begin with one small step. Get a simple sketchbook, pick up a beginner's guide to your chosen skill, or watch a video tutorial. Approach it with curiosity and without expectation, knowing that this is time you're giving to yourself purely for enjoyment and fulfillment. Don't worry about being good at it or achieving any specific outcome. Each attempt, each moment of practice is valuable simply because it brings joy and allows you to see the world with fresh eyes. And who knows, you might discover a talent you didn't know you had, or a passion that brings a new layer of meaning to your life. The point is to keep that inner spark alive, to continue exploring, discovering, and reveling in the beauty of learning. You've spent years taking care of others, fulfilling roles and meeting expectations. Now is the time to indulge your curiosity, to give yourself the gift of new experiences, to play, and to create without limits. So, go ahead, try something new. You might just find that this one small act of learning, of opening yourself to something different, becomes a source of joy and inspiration that fills your life in ways you never expected. Section 4. Creating small acts of kindness and gratitude rituals. Have you ever noticed how a simple act of kindness, no matter how small, can ripple out and touch lives in ways you never imagined? Think back to a time when someone offered you a smile on a difficult day, or perhaps when a stranger held a door open for you. Those fleeting moments might seem insignificant in the grand tapestry of life, but they have the profound ability to uplift spirits, forge connections, and remind us of the inherent goodness that still exists in the world. After 70, when many of us might feel the world is moving at a pace faster than we care to keep up with, embracing small acts of kindness and cultivating gratitude can become not just a practice, but a way of life that enriches our days with purpose and joy. Imagine waking up each morning with the intention to make even the slightest positive impact on someone else's day. How might that transform not only their experience, but yours as well? Let me share a story about George, a retired teacher who found himself feeling a bit disconnected after leaving the bustling environment of the classroom. He missed the daily interactions, the smiles of his students, and the sense of making a difference. One day, while sipping coffee at his local cafe, he noticed the barista seemed particularly stressed. Without overthinking it, he wrote a short note on a napkin that simply said, Your hard work doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you for brightening my mornings." He left it on the counter as he left. The next day, the barista greeted him with a beaming smile and a free cup of coffee. She told him how much that note meant to her, especially on a day when she was feeling overwhelmed. This small act not only lifted her spirits, but rekindled in George a sense of connection and purpose. It became a delightful habit for him, leaving little notes of appreciation, offering compliments, or simply sharing a kind word. He found that these gestures brought a newfound joy to his days, a lightness that came from focusing on the positivity he could spread rather than dwelling on any loneliness or disconnect he might have felt. So, how can you begin incorporating small acts of kindness into your daily life? Start by looking around you, the people you encounter, the places you visit, even the strangers who cross your path. Is there someone who might appreciate a friendly greeting, a genuine compliment, or a helping hand? Perhaps it's as simple as thanking the mail carrier for their reliable service, or calling an old friend just to let them know you're thinking of them. These actions require little time and no money, yet their impact can be immeasurable. And here's the beautiful part: kindness is contagious. When you extend warmth and consideration to others, you not only brighten their day, but also encourage them to pass it on. It's a ripple effect that begins with a single drop, your small act of kindness. In tandem with spreading kindness outwardly, cultivating an inner practice of gratitude can profoundly shift your perspective on life. Have you ever kept a gratitude journal? It might sound like a simple exercise, but writing down a few things you're thankful for each day can rewire your brain to focus on the positive aspects of your life. Consider setting aside a few minutes each evening to reflect on your day. What made you smile? Was it the warmth of the sun on your face, a delicious meal, or a pleasant conversation? No matter how small, acknowledging these moments can fill your heart with appreciation and contentment. For instance, Margaret, a widow in her 70s, began jotting down 3 things she was grateful for each night before bed. Initially, she struggled to find noteworthy events, but over time, she started noticing and savoring the small joys: the chirping of birds outside her window, the taste of her morning tea, the comfort of a good book. This practice shifted her focus from what was missing in her life to the abundance that was already present. You might be thinking, how can such simple actions make a significant difference in my life? The truth is, kindness and gratitude are powerful tools that can enhance emotional well-being, reduce stress, and even improve physical health. They foster a positive outlook that can make everyday challenges feel more manageable. Moreover, these practices can help bridge the gap between feeling isolated and feeling connected to the world around you. In giving to others and appreciating what you have, you create a sense of community and belonging that enriches your own life. Now, let's make this practical. Tomorrow, challenge yourself to perform one small act of kindness. It doesn't have to be grand. Maybe send a thoughtful message to a family member, offer to help a neighbor with their groceries, or compliment someone's outfit. Pay attention to how this makes you feel. Does it bring a smile to your face? Does it add a spark to your day? Then, in the evening, take a moment to reflect on your day and write down at least 3 things you're grateful for. They can be as simple as enjoying a warm bath or hearing your favorite song on the radio. By actively practicing gratitude, you train your mind to recognize and focus on the positive aspects of your life, which can lead to increased happiness and satisfaction. I encourage you to share your experiences in the comments below. Have you ever been the recipient of a small act of kindness that left a lasting impression? Or perhaps you've initiated a gesture that brought joy to someone else. Your stories could inspire others to embrace kindness and gratitude in their own lives. Remember, we're all in this together, and your insights might be the encouragement someone else needs to start their own journey toward a more fulfilling life. In embracing small acts of kindness and gratitude rituals, you're not only enhancing your own well-being, but also contributing to a more compassionate and connected community. It's about shifting your focus from any limitations you might face to the vast possibilities of positive impact you can have each day. Imagine a world where everyone takes a moment to be kind and appreciative. What a beautiful place that would be. And it all starts with you, right here, right now. So go ahead, let kindness and gratitude be your guiding stars, illuminating your path and the paths of those around you. Section 5. Redefining success by celebrating inner growth and peace. What if, after a lifetime of pursuing achievements and chasing external success, you could finally turn inward and discover a deeper, more lasting fulfillment? Imagine letting go of the need to prove anything to anyone, including yourself. At this stage of life, there's an invitation to embrace a new kind of success, one that isn't measured by titles, wealth, or recognition, but by something infinitely more valuable: inner peace, personal growth, and a profound sense of contentment with who you are. Have you ever thought about what success would look like if it weren't tied to accomplishments or social validation? What if it was simply about feeling at home within yourself, celebrating the wisdom and resilience you've gathered through years of living? This is a kind of success that grows quietly, like a garden tended with patience and care, a success that can be deeply fulfilling in ways that external achievements never could. In our culture, success is often defined by what we accumulate or accomplish. But as we grow older, many of those outward markers of success start to feel less relevant. The roles we once held, the careers we built, the titles we carried, all of these may begin to fall away, leaving space for something truer and more personal. Redefining success in terms of inner growth allows us to look at life from a different perspective, one that celebrates resilience, wisdom, and kindness as achievements in their own right. Imagine waking up each morning with a sense of peace, feeling content with where you are in life, knowing that each day brings an opportunity to deepen your understanding of yourself and the world around you. It's about honoring the journey you've traveled, recognizing the strength it took to get here, and appreciating the ways you've evolved. This is a success that doesn't require anyone else's approval. It's yours entirely, and it lives within you. How can you start cultivating this inner success? Begin by setting aside time each day for reflection, allowing yourself to reconnect with what truly matters to you. Try keeping a simple journal where you note down not just your thoughts, but the things that bring you peace, moments when you feel most alive, or experiences that deepen your understanding of yourself. This isn't about achieving a specific goal or meeting an expectation. It's about observing and honoring the changes within you. One man shared how, after a busy life of working and raising a family, he found incredible solace in writing down the little things that made him feel grounded: watching the sunset, reading a meaningful book, listening to the laughter of his grandchildren. Over time, he found that these moments, however small, became touchstones for him, reminders of what true success feels like. He realized that success for him was about finding joy in the simplicity of everyday life and nurturing a sense of inner peace that no external accomplishment could ever replicate. To cultivate this inner growth, give yourself permission to slow down and let go of any pressure to be anything other than who you are right now. Success in this stage of life isn't about doing more. It's about deepening into the present moment, savoring the small, quiet joys that make life meaningful. You might begin to notice that certain qualities like patience, compassion, or self-acceptance have grown within you over the years. Celebrate these as accomplishments. Acknowledge the times you overcame challenges, the moments when you showed strength, or the instances when you were gentle with yourself. Think of all the ways you've grown. Perhaps you've become more resilient, more empathetic, more accepting of life's uncertainties. These are profound successes that deserve recognition. Allow yourself to feel proud of the inner work you've done, the wisdom you carry, and the grace with which you approach life's ups and downs. Another powerful way to redefine success is to focus on cultivating peace within your relationships. At this point in life, the connections we nurture hold immense value, and healing or strengthening these bonds can bring a deep sense of fulfillment. Reach out to family members, rekindle old friendships, or forgive someone with whom you've had a long-standing conflict. Imagine the relief and joy of freeing yourself from grudges or unspoken misunderstandings, allowing your relationships to be sources of love and support rather than stress. Success in this context is about embracing forgiveness, empathy, and understanding. Picture the sense of lightness that comes with knowing you've mended or deepened connections with those who matter most to you. This, too, is a profound form of growth and achievement, one that fills the heart and soul with a peace that no trophy or award ever could. Redefining success in these terms might feel unusual at first, especially if you've spent much of your life focused on traditional achievements. But as you begin to shift your perspective, you may find that this new definition of success feels more aligned with who you are now, honoring the quiet strength and wisdom you've accumulated over the years. Success isn't a destination, it's a way of being that brings contentment, acceptance, and joy. And as you start to celebrate these inner victories, you'll likely find that life takes on a richness and depth you may not have fully experienced before. So ask yourself, what does success mean to me now? How can I honor my inner growth, celebrate my resilience, and live in a way that feels true to my values? Imagine closing each day with a feeling of quiet pride, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are, because of the peace you carry within and the relationships you cherish. This is a kind of success that no one can take away, a success that remains yours for as long as you continue to nurture it. Let this be your guiding light as you move forward, knowing that your life, in all its complexity and beauty, is a testament to a success far deeper than any outward accomplishment. So take a deep breath, look within, and celebrate the extraordinary person you've become. So here we are, at the end of this journey we've taken together, exploring what it means to live fully and meaningfully after 70. Each of these practices, though simple in their essence, holds the potential to profoundly reshape your daily life, inviting in new depths of peace, purpose, and joy. As you sit here now, perhaps with a sense of curiosity or even a quiet excitement, imagine what it might feel like to start incorporating these ideas into your life, one small step at a time. This stage of life, more than any other, offers the freedom to live in a way that feels deeply authentic and uniquely fulfilling. You've earned the right to slow down, to focus on the things that bring you genuine happiness, and to release any lingering expectations that no longer serve you. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of calm purpose, knowing that your time is yours to spend as you choose, free from the pressures of doing, achieving, or proving anything. These years are an invitation to redefine what fulfillment means for you, to create a life that feels rich in every possible way, not because of what you accomplish, but because of how you choose to experience each precious day. Think of the practices we've explored together, embracing the gentle power of stillness and silence, crafting a legacy through storytelling, nourishing your curiosity by learning something new, spreading kindness through small, intentional acts, and redefining success to focus on inner growth and peace. Each of these practices is like a thread, one that weaves into the tapestry of a life well lived, a life filled not with grand gestures, but with the small, meaningful moments that bring color and warmth to our days. Imagine how it would feel to bring a few minutes of quiet into each morning, to listen to your breath, to let the day unfold with ease rather than urgency. Or picture yourself reflecting on the memories that have shaped you, the stories that tell of resilience, joy, and wisdom, and sharing these treasures with those who will cherish them. What would it be like to look at your life and see it not as something defined by titles or achievements, but as a journey marked by growth, by kindness, and by a deep connection to what matters most? If there's one thing I hope you take away from this journey, it's that fulfillment isn't something you find by searching outward. It's something you cultivate from within, by honoring who you are and embracing what makes you feel alive, peaceful, and whole. There's a quiet beauty in allowing yourself to enjoy this chapter, free from the demands of proving anything to anyone. These practices offer more than just small changes. They are invitations to live with a renewed sense of intention, to fill your days with simple pleasures, and to let go of anything that no longer aligns with your true self. Each day is a gift, a blank canvas on which you can paint with the colors of kindness, curiosity, gratitude, and peace. By taking this time to nourish yourself and your spirit, you're creating a life that is deeply fulfilling, one that reflects the person you have become and the values that guide you. Imagine closing each day with a sense of quiet satisfaction, not because of what you achieved, but because of the joy, presence, and intention you brought to every moment. I encourage you to begin by choosing just one of these practices that resonates most deeply with you. Perhaps it's a few minutes of stillness each morning, a daily act of kindness, or the decision to pick up a new hobby that excites you. Start small, with no pressure to be perfect or to accomplish anything specific. Let this be a gentle journey, one that allows you to explore, to reflect, and to enjoy each step along the way. And as you do, notice how each of these small acts of intention transforms the way you feel about life, how they invite in a quiet joy that makes every day a little richer. These aren't just practices, they're pathways to a life that feels both grounding and uplifting, a life that is wholly yours to enjoy and create. Before we close, I'd love to hear from you. If there's something in this journey that spoke to you, a particular practice you're excited to try, or an insight that resonated, please feel free to share it in the comments. Your experiences, reflections, and insights can become part of a shared journey, one that brings us all closer to a life filled with meaning and connection. Together, we create a community, a reminder that we are all, in our own unique ways, walking this path of growth and fulfillment. So as you move forward from here, carry with you the understanding that every day is a new opportunity to live with grace, intention, and joy. May you find peace in stillness, purpose in small acts of kindness, and a sense of wonder in all that you have yet to discover. This chapter of life is one of the most precious, an invitation to savor, to create, and to be. Embrace it fully, knowing that each moment is a gift, each day a chance to live with the kind of fulfillment that comes not from what we do, but from who we are. This is your time, your journey, and your life to shape as you choose.